Many years ago, in a small town called ABUSES, lived a young man called Etim. He was a lawyer working with a law firm. He was doing well at his work. Having worked for about 5 years, he felt it was time to marry a wife. More so, his stepmother and 3 siblings were pushing him to marry before he became old. He was reluctant to marry. He's the first child and only child by his mom, and the gap between him and the next child was about 7 years. His childhood wasn't very easy because his mother wasn't there. One day he ran into an old schoolmate, a lady. They attended the same secondary school. She was his junior. She's a pharmacist working in the biggest pharmacy in ABUSES. Etim went to buy drugs for malaria and ran into Arit. They exchanged numbers and started talking. They had so much to catch up on. Talk about school, university, life. Etim was happy to hear that Arit was still single. He had known her as a good girl and easy to get along with. But on Arit's part, she didn't know Etim that much because he didn't talk much. She needed to find out by herself. "Yes, Etim, tell me about you," Arit said. Etim said, "Well, I am a man." Arit laughed and pushed him slightly and jokingly. "Etim, that's not what I mean. Everyone knows that about you. What are the things about you many people don't know?" Etim sobered up and said, "Well, I am an only child by my mother, but I have 3 younger ones by my stepmom. My mom left when I was like 3 years old. I didn't really know her. She's a working class lady who took no nonsense from my dad, according to the story I was told." Arit said, "Hey, so was your stepmom nice to you when she came?" Etim answered, "Yes, she was. She was as nice as she could be. She's still nice, I must say." They bade each other goodbye and Etim became restless. He started asking himself, "Did I say too much? Did I reveal too much? What if she finds out who I am for real? But I am a very nice person. Just that I wouldn't allow my wife do what my mom did. And I know I've watched many men do what I believe is the right thing, and their wives stayed put. No matter what, we are in ABUSES, and women know their place." So their next meeting, they started talking life and love and marriage. Etim quickly proposed to Arit, and she accepted. Arit is one lady that is kind and beautiful, soft-spoken and respectful. 4 months after their wedding, Etim came home from work, but Arit hadn't come back. There was an emergency at her office. A patient had a bad crisis right inside their pharmacy, and they rushed him to the hospital. Arit and her team needed to go through all the processes for the patient to be admitted. She came home and found that her husband, Etim, was angry. She explained herself and her day. Etim wasn't satisfied. He blurted, "So, because of a patient, we wouldn't eat in this house? There'll be no dinner?" Arit asked, "Babe, why didn't you just warm the food that is already fixed? I came back during my break to cook." Etim blurted out, "What exactly do you mean by that? You expect me to be your cook? Why are you here if I have to do your kitchen work for you? Why are you here? Why did I marry you?" "Hey, why are you shouting? And what's wrong with your warming food or even cooking food? Arit asked. Oh, has it come to that? Asked Etim. I see your mother didn't really train you up well. Your first responsibility as a woman is to me, your husband, and for me, your husband. You are to cook and run the kitchen perfectly. That's what a virtuous woman is. And you can pocket your monkey, women, liberation, modern day feminist ideas. Because, trust me, I will take none of those shit. Arit said, but Etim, do you realize I am tired from work? And you expect me to go to the kitchen to fix food after an almost traumatic day? Etim blurted, listen woman, I don't care, just get me dinner. Enough of your long talk, I beg. I'm hungry. Tears started running down Arit's face. The reason for the tears is because of exhaustion and gross disappointment, seeing the true color of the man she married. The next day, they barely greeted each other and left for work. They came back to hold a conversation that they would both look at years later as the point of destruction of their trust and happiness. They sat down to eat dinner, fixed of course by Arit, and Etim started the sweet talks. Babe, I know you have been unhappy since yesterday. I haven't been happy either. But the issue is that our relationship is supposed to be joyful for both of us. We are to get the best out of being married to each other. My love for you is endless. I have thought through all that has been happening, and I have also come up with a proposal. Work is stressful for both of us. My job has a lot of opportunities for me to earn even more monthly. I just take on more cases and deliver on them. Also, I have become the legal advisor of the two richest men in this town. That one is extra money. We work more because we want more money. Babe, let all your bills be on me. All your bills. Resign your position on your job. Tell them you are rounding up by the end of this month. This will enable them get a replacement while you tie up any loose ends there. I have thought about this to help you live a stress-free life and just be home to rest when you wish, cook when you wish, and attend to your Etim and our kids that would soon come. Yes, I know the moment you become less stressed, pregnancy would manifest almost naturally. Okay? It will come with ease. It's all about you, babe. I will work out more than enough money for us all. Let everything you need be on me from now onwards. He held her hand and kissed her hand. Arit responded, that's a good one. I will think about it. Allow me a day or two, please. Arit woke up late the next morning and started hurrying to get ready and get breakfast ready for Etim. She came home a bit late again, but this time Etim was happy to see her because she sent him a message to say she had told her boss and that she would leave at the end of the month, and the man asked why. I just told him it was a domestic matter, wrote Arit. End of the month came and Arit stopped to work. Initially, Etim was happy and giving his wife money with ease for groceries and personal needs. But the second month of joblessness and little savings, because she was using her money for groceries and personal needs earlier, Arit asked for money for groceries. Come and see sparking. Etim sparked. Ha! Is it only food we do in this house? Every time you are buying this or that, I sure don't understand you. You should go and learn from other women how to manage and how to buy things in bulk at village markets. All these demands up and down is not right, and you should also learn to be negotiating, not give them money when they tell you prices. Haggle, negotiate. That's the way to do it. Arit looked at him and shook her head. One Saturday morning, Arit was preparing to do laundry and reminded Etim that she needed to go and buy groceries. Etim said, "Babe, let's start budgeting, okay? You should write a list and let me vet it." Arit wrote a list and gave him. He looked at it and said, "What's all this?" He decided to cancel some items, like butter and crackers. He said, all these luxury items should go. In this house, we need to tighten up a bit and, to be able to save money for better things. These were things Arit bought with ease when she was working. When he finished cancelling out to his heart's content, he said, "Well, even after removing some things, the grand total is still 15,000 naira. What I have is 8,000 naira. You have to manage it anyhow you think you could." In a few weeks, Arit's classmate would be wedding, and she needed Arit to be her chief bridesmaid. Arit needed a new pair of shoes for that day. Etim said, "Sorry, it's not possible to buy shoes for you at this time. And even the dress that she wants you to buy, sorry, is out of the question. We can't do that now." It is like all you know is to keep wasting money. Wedding, so you have to, meanwhile, it's not your wedding, no. You have to buy this and buy that in order to attend the wedding. The more I make, the more you waste money. Once you know I have made some extra, you start demanding and demanding to feel the money. I don't know what is wrong with you. All of you women are like that. And Arit backed down. She told her friend to find another person, that she had domestic issues to sort out. She stopped attending most events because she didn't have clothes. And Etim was happy. He had caged in Arit. She accused Arit's friends as feminists and didn't like their paying her visits. If she went out to see them, he would be harassing her on phone to come back for this or for that. If she was to go out, she should go out with him to wherever. And outside, wherever they went to, church, wedding, wherever, any function at all they, went to, Etim would be very tender and nice to Arit. Doting on her in public, Etim would say about his wife, "Oh, there's no woman like her. She's just the best," and give her a peck in public. He would be doing public show of love until they get home and he returns to the lion of the tribe of his house. Oh my. Etim would issue one command after another, treating Arit almost like a nobody. One day, Arit needed money to buy sanitary towels. She didn't have enough. She told Etim, but he just drove off without answering her. Yes, he heard her loud and clear, but Etim drove off. Arit came in and cried and cried. She could not do anything. This man tied her hands and her feet practically. Speaking to herself alone in the bedroom after he walked out on her, rather after he drove out on her, not saying a word to her when she asked for money for sanitary towels, Arit said, "Is this what I let myself into?" He completely deceived me. He thought to himself that I needed to be penniless in order to keep his control fangs on me. He told me that the upper class and middle class families in the Western world had their wives at home taking care of the entire family, that they were housewives with class, and the husbands provide whatever money they needed. I foolishly accepted. We are not upper class. We are not middle class. We are not even low class. Our income, even with me working, doesn't even qualify for low class American income level. I foolishly accepted. Now this, I have to use tissue paper for my period. A pharmacist. And these days, because of the stress his abuses give me, the flu is even very heavy. And children haven't even come. When they come, what would happen? How would we meet up with the demands of our children? Arit became a shadow of herself. She was often ashamed of meeting her schoolmates because she had nothing to show, and her appearance in terms of clothing was an apology. Her clothes were faded. Arit became sour. One bark from Etim would shut her up for the rest of the day. One day, Etim came back from work very, very late, almost at midnight. He fought his boss physically. That was it. He was locked up for some hours and was released on bail. By the time he came home, he was sober. The penalties for his affront to his boss were going to be heavy. Really, really heavy, and Etim knew. He narrated the matter to his wife, saying, I would have slept at the police cell this night. I was bailed by my friend and colleague. In her mind, Arit said they should have kept you in that cell for 2 weeks first of all. Arit got herself and said to Etim, "Oh, hi. What happened?" Etim said, "I was attending to a client and my boss asked me to come urgently. I needed to finalize with the client. So I wasted some time. By the time I got to his office, he had stood up and was leaving. I don't really know where he was going. We met at his door. I told him, 'Sir, you called me?' He said, 'Get out of my face. I don't need you here anymore.' I blocked him and he tried to push me out of his way. And I don't exactly know what happened. I don't know what came over me. And I pushed him hard against the door and held him by the throat. The CCTV caught that. And the first thing is that I will not practice anywhere. I will not practice law anywhere for 3 whole years. This case is going to court and to the legal association. I am finished, completely finished. The Association of Legal Practitioners has suspended me already, suspended my membership." Arit was listening with shock as the weight of the whole matter began to dawn on her. And recalling how she had borne the brunt of his abuses since she stopped working, she smiled inside her. The next day, Etim was at home sobered up, no going to work. Instead, he was needed at the police station. For the rest of the week, he was going up and down the police station. He kept calling his boss, but the man wouldn't answer him. Arit's classmate and friend owns a big pharmaceutical company. She had offered Arit a position when she heard she left where she was working. Arit turned it down because her husband wanted her to be a stay-at-home wife. 2 years have gone, and Arit is now a shadow of her vivacious self, and very, very poor. Arit now walks with her shoulders down, no confidence whatsoever, filled with low self-esteem. She called her friend, asking if there were any opportunities for her in her company. The lady responded that the position she earlier offered her had been filled up, but she could take up being their drug representative in ABUSES and surrounding areas. Arit quickly accepted. When she told Etim, he was like, okay, how much are they paying? They want you to slave for them for peanuts. Arit responded, my dear husband, anything is something now, considering the issues you are facing. No income for 3 years is insane. Even if they don't send you to prison for assault, we would still face serious financial hardships. The company paid her 50,000 naira upfront for fuel and wardrobe upgrade. With that, she upgraded her wardrobe and started work. First month, Arit was paid 250,000 naira for the heavy sales she made. The house husband, now house husband, which Etim had become, was happy when he heard. And in a few minutes, he was angry. What, Arit? For all the up and down you were running, is it only 250,000 that they paid you? Arit responded, my dear, it is to start with, and it is better than nothing. Arit sent him 30,000 naira to go and repair his car, which had been grounded for weeks. While they worked on his car, Etim was inside Ofo's office. Ofo is the CEO of the auto workshop. They were discussing. Etim said, Ofo, do you know how disgusting it is for a woman to feed anyone and how rebellious women are prone to be when they have money? That's why I convinced my wife to stay home. But now, anyway, my mother left my dad when I was little. I watched the drama that day. Everything had been going fine. My dad had a good job. My mom too. My mom was to go for some training in the US, all expenses paid. She was the team lead and was going with 4 other people in her team. My dad refused. He gave no reasons but only said he didn't want his wife to go. On the day of the trip, my mom left home and never came back. So my dad married another wife who is a stay-at-home mom, and she has not left. So early enough, I told my wife to resign her job. Ofo said, your father's fear was that your mom would develop wings from there? Etim said, yes, exactly. Ofo said, but Oga Etim, imagine a woman of your mom's training and capacity being kept at home to just hang around the house, and your dad would give her peanuts for upkeep? If you would admit it, your stepmother isn't the happiest of women because your dad would give her very little in order to make her perpetually dependent on him. Even if you want your wife to stay home, it should be because you have excess money and you would weekly or monthly give her far more than enough. Far more than any job around could give her. There's no need caging women. They are not animals. You don't make a prisoner out of someone who loved and trusted you. If you want a bird to be yours permanently, release it. If it belongs to you, it will fly out, but it will always come back to you. I own this massive workshop today, and I have it in 3 other cities in this nation. I have 1 in the US. Why? I was raised by a dad and a mom who love each other, who breathe love. I mean, you see them breathing love and respect for each other. I am 32 years old now. I never ever heard my father shouting at my mom. Never. Why would he? They both have excess money because they keep supporting each other. We, their children, grew up in a love environment. We were never repressed. We are all doing very well today. I married a woman who is like an angel to me, the goddess of my kingdom. She is happy and I am happy. I don't know about you, Etim, but life is better lived well. She is your wife, not your slave. Women are easily manipulated. That's why the devil took advantage of Eve, Adam's wife. If you take advantage of their weakness and bully them, abuse them, you may get them subjugated but never submissive. They were never created to be nothing. They are also wired with dreams. Help them. Help your wife be what she was wired to be, Etim. Etim was embarrassed. As he drove off, he slept off on steering and hit an electric pole. There was blood everywhere, and Etim was rushed to the nearest hospital where he would stay for another 6 months trying to recover. By the time Arit came, Etim was in coma. There's actually no peace for the wicked, no matter who that is and why he is unleashing wickedness on another human being. Etim! 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 No answer. Wow! What have you learned from this story? What do you think about Etim? What advice do you have for Etim at this point? Do you have a word for Arit? Is she your chosen wife, or you have created a slave out of her? What do you really think of all this? Please share your thoughts with us in the comments section below. Also, please encourage us to roll out more African folk tales, more African real life stories by giving this video a thumbs up, and also subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done so. Yes, please remember to click the bell icon so you would be among the first to know when we upload another very interesting story video. And please share our stories with your friends and family. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being there for us. This is African Folk Tales ChinChin. Till our next video, remain truly amazing. Goodbye.